I moved across the country for my husband. Then he called my mom over one quiet drive. I have been married for 1 month and I already hate my life. My husband and I dated long distance for 8 months. He flew out every few weeks, planned dates, remembered tiny things, and made me feel like I mattered. So when he proposed, I said yes fast. I quit my job, packed my apartment, left my friends, and moved across the country for him. I was wrong and I saw it almost right away. The first crack showed up 3 days after I moved in. I was unpacking the kitchen and trying to make one small corner feel like mine. He walked in, watched me, then started moving everything. He didn't ask, he just took the mugs out of my hands and put them somewhere else. I asked what he was doing and he looked confused. Then he said, "This is where they go." But it wasn't about cabinets. It was about him deciding his way was the only right way. By the end of the first week, I noticed he talked over me all the time. I would start a sentence, and before I got 5 words out, he would jump in and finish it for me. But he didn't finish what I was saying. He finished the version he had already made up. If I wanted to explain something, he guessed the point before I made it. After a few days, I started stopping mid-sentence. He never noticed. The second week, I asked for one simple thing. I had spent the whole day applying for remote jobs and trying not to panic about money. After dinner, I told him I needed 1 hour alone in the bedroom to rest my brain. He said, "Of course, totally fine." I sat on the bed and opened a book. 2 minutes later, he was standing in the doorway. He wasn't talking, he was just watching me. I looked up 10 minutes later and he was still there. After 20 minutes, I said, "What are you doing?" He asked, "Are you still mad at me?" I wasn't mad, I was tired. He apologized, nodded, and then stayed in the doorway before finally leaving. That night, he brought me a snack I didn't ask for and sat beside me like he had fixed everything. I ate it because I didn't know what else to do. That became the pattern. If I asked for space, he treated it like rejection. If I stayed quiet, he treated it like danger. If I answered in a normal tone, he asked why I sounded upset. I started choosing every word carefully because any small change in my face could turn into a long talk about his feelings. In week 3, his mother called me. She sounded sweet at first. She asked if I was getting settled and said the family was there for me. Then she said she knew I was having some personal issues. I asked what she meant. She said my husband told her I was struggling to adjust and having emotional difficulties. My stomach dropped. The emotional difficulties were me asking for 30 quiet minutes after dinner. He had taken a normal request and handed it to his family as a problem. When I asked him about it, he said, "I just wanted support for you." I said, "You didn't ask me before telling your mom private things." He frowned and said, "So I'm not allowed to care?" Suddenly, I was explaining why I wasn't trying to shut him out. He got quiet, looked hurt, and I apologized, even though I still knew he was wrong. Other things kept piling up too. His best friend came over without warning. The TV had to be loud every night because he said he couldn't sleep without it. If I didn't love his favorite movie, he acted like I had rejected him. By week 4, I felt like I was shrinking inside my own marriage. I didn't have my old job, my friends were far away, and every room came with rules I had never agreed to. So one Tuesday night, I grabbed my keys and said I was going for a drive. Not leaving him, not making a point, just driving. He asked where I was going, and I said, "I don't know, I just need air." Before I even backed out of the parking spot, my phone buzzed. "Are you okay?" Then another. "Where are you going?" Then, "Can I come?" Then, "When are you coming back?" 9 minutes later, there were 11 texts. Then my phone rang from a number I didn't recognize. It was my mom. She said my husband had called her because he wanted to know if I seemed okay before I left. I stared at the road ahead and felt my hands tighten on the wheel. I had asked for one drive, and he had turned it into an alert to my mother. I told her I was fine, hung up, and pulled into the first grocery store parking lot I saw. It was 9 p.m., and my phone kept buzzing. Then another text lit up the screen. "Why are you ignoring me?" I put the phone face down, locked the car doors, and let it ring.